Thanks, George. Today, I'll be talking about what our team has been working on with respect to the CMS annual update and the LDS data update. Let's start by talking about our annual fall ritual, which includes updating outcomes logic and reference data from CMS and the American Hospital Association. This year, the update consisted mostly of inclusion and exclusion table changes and reference data updates. We also made some logic refinements that are explained in the documentation. There were no other changes to measure calculations, and CMS has not yet moved to using the CCSR refined, also known as CCSR. So our approach has not changed on that front. If you're wondering how you get this update, if you're a hosted customer, we will be in touch directly with you to coordinate that. Otherwise, the package and installation instructions will be sent automatically to your DI downloads. Different versions of the package are also available depending on how you use the data and which version of hospital operations you have. As of the time of this recording, we are on track to release this update in the mid to late September timeframe. And as always, you can reach out to our team via support for any clarification or assistance. We are also in the process of extending our data use agreement with CMS to access the limited data set that we use to inform Outcomes Advisor benchmark. This data provides visibility into performance on outcomes measures for hospitals and health systems across the country at a level of detail that is not accessible without this relationship and agreement with CMS and ResDAC. To illustrate why this data update is important, let's go into a short Outcomes Advisor demo. One of the key features of Outcomes Advisor is the ability to use user-selected custom peer cohort benchmarks as our target values. So here we're looking at an example of an outcomes analysis page for acute ALS, or average length of stay. And anywhere on this page that you see reference to an expected value or target, some examples being expected, observed to expected ratio, or the opportunity to improve as compared to a target, that is all based on that user-selected custom benchmark, which is powered by the LDS data. So let's take a look at an example of how a user might select that custom benchmark. So if we go to benchmark analysis, let's say my organization is a medium community hospital located within the state of Massachusetts. Once I've made those selections, this will show me all of the hospitals that meet those criteria that are available in the CMS LDS data, and will include their measure values for my measure of interest. I can now compare this to my organization's data by going in and selecting. So let's say I am from Beverly Hospital in Massachusetts. And again, I want to compare myself to other medium community hospitals within the same state. So I'm going to go ahead and compare. I am using ALS as an example, but you can see in the upper left-hand corner here that we have all of the standard outcomes measures available for this analysis. So on the left-hand side, I see my organization's ALS measures for all of the variations on that measure, broken down by numerator and denominator, and also including a comparison to the national average. On the right-hand side, I see that same information for my custom selected peer cohort. Again, this time medium community hospitals in Massachusetts. And this allows me an opportunity to see whether this is a good fit to use for a peer cohort and whether these are target values that I want my organization to aim towards. When I go back to the selection screen, I can either further refine my requirements. For example, I could pick a subset of these hospitals that are similar to my organization in some significant way. And when I'm ready, I can go ahead and generate my benchmarks, and they will be available after the next factory refresh. And I can go on and iterate this process at any time. And again, all of this is powered by the LDS data. That's all I have today on the updates we've been working on, and Patrick is up next.